before we start, I'm just going to show everybody your channel. And of course, that's like on another thing here. So I'm just going to go to the web page for a second. There, transition.
Okay.
And even so, this page is still busy as all heck. I'm going to move this over here. There, I can see myself better. And this is Timey Wimey Girl's channel, Timey Wimey Girl 7.
That is me.
So please check that out. She's at 977. So you only need like 23 more people before you hit that 1,000.
Wow, excellent.
Yeah, I'm not one of those.
Honestly.
Oh, somebody joined us! Yay! Whoever you are, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Scrumptious Model Trains.
Oh, Scrumptious Model Trains. I haven't seen you for a while.
And
reviewing, playing, and more. Nice to see you too, buddy. It's the thing. Like you guys just missed the massive technical
glitch,
confabulation.
Bloop.
So we managed to fix that. I'm not really one of those. I don't like to. Unless I make a specific time and thing to talk about different, like pages, critiques and stuff. But it's more just to show everybody where you are and say, hey, you do a great show, great channel, and to subscribe to you. So let's go back and get your beautiful face on the star. Hi, Timey Girl. Thank you for joining us, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
And thanks for your patience.
Yeah, and everyone's actually.
Yes,
so
everyone's. Good point.
Yes.
I've had a couple of conversations with you, like through Twitter, the Twitter chat thing, and actually we did talk through Zoom once before. I remember. How you're reasonably comfortable about talking about your health issues and stuff like that? I gather.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Like
I honestly, how do I put it? I would rather talk about it because I think it's important that people learn more about it. There's a lot of misconceptions with it. And, you run into ignorance because it's actually ignorance, because ignorance means you don't know it yet. You know what I mean? Not forced ignorance, not the, I'm going to pretend I don't know what's going on because I don't want to know sort of thing, you know?
Exactly.
But
so would you like to talk about it a little bit and give us a little briefing of what it means to live with the challenges that you do?
Sure. Well, I have been disabled for about, I'm not good with time. That's another thing. That's part of why my name is Timey Wimey, because time isn't so great for me, and figure, like, I think something happened yesterday and happened last year, I think something happened last year and it happened yesterday. So my memory sort of sucks, but it's been somewhere between 8 and 10 years now. But it goes back originally to 22 years ago. No, more than 22, excuse me, 1992. Let's just say that. And, in 1992, I was injured. My neck was injured, and it was, they called it the nerve being traumatized in my neck, several nerves. And it's not my spine, so they can't fix it. And over the course of 20 years, it became hypersensitive, which in turn decided to go ahead, because I'm a little odd in many ways. But in turn, it decided to go ahead and it made my whole entire nervous system hypersensitive, and I have severe fibromyalgia. And for 5 years, I was bedridden. I could not, I could get up and go to the bathroom and things like that, but I couldn't stand for very long, and I really was completely exhausted quite often. Well,
that's one of the symptoms, isn't it? Like fatigue.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And, I was in pain constantly, and I mean horrific pain constantly. And we moved from New Jersey to Florida for my health, because in the summer months, it wasn't as bad. And when we moved, there was a treatment that I had read about before we had moved, that my doctor in New Jersey, he was a really great doctor. I think it's really important when you have any disease, just to find a doctor that is a partner with you, because the doctor has the knowledge, but you have to live it, and I think it's important to find a partner, rather than just somebody that tells you what to do and you're like, you don't know why, and they don't respect your opinion. I was an office manager for medical and dental offices before I became ill, and I specialized in insurance claim processing. So I have a lot of knowledge.
Well, you've
I
struck
don't
me
always remember all of it, but I have a lot of knowledge.
For a second here.
I'm sorry. Say that
You
again.
struck me as a very, with it and very bright person. Because I think it was, we had a very brief discussion once before, and then I ran into you when you were setting up your own chat bot. What's the pool boy there, the mermaid pool boy?
Yes,
Merman.
Timey's pool boy.
Yeah, and I was very, I was very impressed with the depth of
Thank you.
of your intellect. So.
I enjoyed our conversation.
I do too. I still do actually. So it's nice to be in touch with you. Okay, I just want so. What was it that got you involved in YouTube? How is it that you came to wanting to do a YouTube channel?
Well, once we got down here, there had been a treatment that I had read about, and I had asked my doctor in New Jersey about it, and he didn't know about it, so he was going to do research. But what I had read and seen, and I'd seen actually a video on YouTube about it, and I saw my channel, by the way. It's the scientist who did the study for LDN with fibromyalgia patients, and it's used also for drug addicts to come off of drugs. But the reason why it works for fibro is that it literally takes your body's own endorphins and it increases them. Every dose you take, it blocks them for a very short period of time. And in doing so, your body's reaction is to make more. So every time you take your medication, you're doubling your endorphins. And I'm not on any pain medication at all any longer. I just take this medication, and my own body is my pain relief. Wow, and it reduces pain by 30% in every single fibro patient that's ever taken it.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And when I got down here, it turned out that the laws in Florida, the pain medication I was on, I had this rule. I was not going to be a zombie. I was not going to be stoned. I wasn't going to, I would take the pain medication to the extent that it would help to bring the pain down to a level I could deal with, but I was not going to be, out of my mind. So what I did was, we got down here and I was double the legal limit in Florida, because in Florida, the law decides how much a doctor can prescribe, not the doctor who knows the patient. It's a violation of the Hippocratic Oath, in my opinion. Say that again.
I was musing. Why Florida is like that, and I decided not to say it.
Yeah. It's frustrating, to say the least. I mean, it shouldn't be legal. It's a violation. You have the doctors take an oath to treat every single patient as an individual, yet your law tells the doctors what they're allowed to do for their patient.
Yeah.
So they started reducing my pain medication, and I was like, we moved here, my kids aren't even here, and I'm in the same amount of pain I was before. Like, what is the point of this? And I spoke with I switched doctors, actually, because the doctor I had, he didn't pay attention. He didn't look at my record. He didn't do anything. And all he wanted to do was give me a shot. He's like, this will fix it. I'm like, right. No, it won't. I've had it. It made it worse, a lot worse. Only 0.5% of people, it makes it worse. 0.5%. The rest of the people, it either helps or it doesn't do anything. And I'm in that 0.5% that it made worse. I'm a very odd person, like I said. And what ended up happening was, once I got on this treatment, I started to feel better. Not better, like I can't go back to work better, but my quality of life improved. I could do dishes, and I could, help out a little bit around the house. And I was doing dishes one day, and I started singing again. And I hadn't sung in over 5 years.
Wow.
And I went to karaoke. My friend had gotten me addicted to karaoke, and I won't give the age, let's put it that way. Let's just say later, not when I was in my 20s. And she had took me out and got me
for a moment. It's at this point that I think maybe my 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 impression might fit. One of the things that struck me was when I first ran across your channel and your singing, and it was sort of like karaoke style stuff. And I hope you won't take this the wrong way. I hope no one takes this the wrong way. I mean, really wouldn't consider you, you know, a great singer. Okay. But there's something in the passion, something in the emotion that you put into your voice that's gripping. And
well, thank you.
I can't put for the life of me put a word to that, but there's an element that you project when you sing.
I love singing.
It's fascinating.
I always have. I've sung since I was a kid. And honestly, I know if you go back to my I started out, this is how I started on YouTube. I can't go out. And I've loved sharing when I sung, you know. And I ended up deciding I found this app that allowed me to record myself singing.
That's Smule. Is that the one?
Smule?
Yeah, Smule. Smule.
Shmuel? Is that how you say it?
Whatever, you know.
Shmuel.
Smile with a U, you know. And I was able to record it, and I went, you know what, I have this YouTube channel that I started back when I was still in bed, and I thought I could record my video game capture and put it on YouTube, and I was too sick to even do that. I put like 4 of them up, that was it, you know. And it just sat here, it did nothing. And then I started singing again, and I decided I had a Project 365. I have to go back for a second. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
When I first was told I couldn't work anymore.
Right. I just one quick interruption. Yeah. I just want to point out that Wonder Music said, "Wow, Sergey said TWG7. Wow, 5 years feeling your pain. I was a vocalist and lost my voice almost 5 years ago."
I am so sorry, Wonder Music.
You know, so
that's right.
I truly am. You know, you never know. I don't know how you lost your voice, but I never give up hope, I guess. That there's some way, something that you can find, excuse me, that, how do I put it? When I couldn't sing,
right,
I was depressed. You know, when I couldn't work anymore, I got very depressed. I felt very useless, and I was just laying in bed. But I've been through hell in my life, and I survived it. So anything after that hell, I've known that I can get through. And I knew I had to break out of the depression. So I started thinking, at that point, I wasn't thinking, what can I do? Because I wasn't there yet. You know, I was still thinking, what can I still do? You know, I hadn't realized that life was over. I'm living a different life now. And I was mourning it, which you have the right to, absolutely, because it is a different life. You've lost a life, you know. And what ended up happening was I realized that I could still take pictures. And I used to be like an amateur photographer, never professional at all. But I loved taking pictures. And I raised 3 kids on my own. I had an ex-husband who had abused me, who caused that damage in 1992. That's why I know exactly when it was, because I know exactly when it happened. And he did his best to torture us through the years, you know, drag me in and out of court and all that.
Yeah, Sergey just continued. He said,
I'm reading,
it was damaged badly. I hope to restore it. I was really depressed too. Thank you for your words. It is very encouraging.
Wow. Well, I hope you get your voice back.
Yeah,
so you were going to say how you got into this 365?
Yes, because I had started with, I found Project 365 initially when I was sitting in bed and couldn't move. You know, I could move, but I couldn't do anything, you know. And it's actually something to do with photography, not with singing. That's what it's known for.
So you adapted that for your own use.
Good.
Yeah, well, okay. I did a Project 365 first with photos.
Okay.
And I've learned a lot of lessons along the way. You know, one of the lessons was stop being so hard on yourself.
Right.
If you can't take a picture every day,
yes,
it's okay. You know, you take more than one by the end of the year.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It says my
Oh,
internet
sorry.
connection's unstable. Do you want to
Yeah,
repeat
I
that
see
last
that.
little bit?
Can, say that again?
Do you want to repeat that last little bit? I think.
Of course. I got 1,600 photos by the end of the year.
Wow.
Jeez, that's pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Because I just, and they're not all good by any means. I just took, honestly, I learned how to edit that year is what I learned. Because the only time I was out and about and could get like nature, which is what I've always loved, was when I was in a car. And how do you take a picture in a car? You take a bunch of them. And then you take, you find the piece inside there that's beautiful and you pull that out. And that's what I did. And so I had plenty of pictures. They weren't all good, you know, but I take plenty of pictures. And I also started playing video games. That was the other thing. And the video games allowed me to feel like I was outside my home.
Yeah, I suppose
because I was able to get out, ride a horse on Red Dead Redemption. And I can't wait because Red Dead 2 is coming out this month. And I'm crazy excited because that game gave me a piece of my life back, you know?
Okay.
That's great.
I just want to, we're starting to run out, getting a little pressed for time.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. not a problem. But I want you to touch on the show that you're doing now currently as well before.
Okay. So quickly, what I ended up doing was once I started singing again, thank you very much, Wonder Music. Once I started singing again, I decided to adapt it from my Project 365 for my channel. I had committed to singing at least 365 songs by September 1st of this year. I sang 368. And when that happened, I was like, okay, what do I do now? Because I'm not done here by any means. I had stumbled across the worldwide collab, and I was in a contest with the No Small Creator within a group of 12 people doing a collaboration in less than 24 hours. It was insane. I had no idea what I was doing. And we got an honorable mention, and we got virtual tickets to Vid Summit because of it. I met amazing people, and I started branching out a little more and getting to know more people and building my community. And at this point now, I've been posting 3 days a week music, and then I have my live stream on Thursdays at 3 p.m. And
with your pool boy.
Yes, that's where my pool boys is. It's Timey's pool party. You come and hang out with the blue-haired mermaid, and it's usually really lighthearted, honestly. And there's a lot of music. It's music related mostly. I have a schedule calendar on my channel because it's a 4-week cycle rather than a monthly cycle. And twice a month, I have at the moment, I have people that are have channels that do not. Their channel is not about music, but they have a musical history of some sort or another. And then I have one that is a live jam where I'm having people come on to sing or to play instruments. We're working out some of the details because of the lag issues.
Right.
But at the moment, we're like taking turns at least, and people are playing music. And then lastly, I have one that I just have a Mermaid Tales, I call it. And it's where I just come and chat. Now, my last Mermaid Tales was a little on the, I feel like it wasn't my usual one because I was having a tough time. So all caught up to me. And I thought I was beyond it. And I was not. I pushed too hard.
Yeah.
I pushed too hard. I did too much.
I can relate to that, certainly.
You know, I'm in the B-roll today. The B-roll is being decided tonight at 9 o'clock. We'll find out if I'm moving on to the next bracket, where I have to do a minute-long piece of B-roll, which I'm excited for because it's Halloween themed. It's fun. Just a lot of editing, you know. But I ended up last week. I got hit like I ran into a truck. Either somebody has a voodoo doll, and they got my leg in a vice, or it's just my fibro because I've been tested for everything else.
Yeah, that's the problem when you're living with health challenges that can flare at
knock
any
you in
time.
your butt.
I just like to say, I've been very impressed with who you are and what you've done and the challenges that you've dealt with and surmounted, and what you've done and how you progressed with your channel. And I think you deserve everything that you have coming to you. That's good and positive, and I hope.
I try and keep it positive.
Well, exactly,
you have
exactly.
to,
Of course, and you do. Tremendous. This is why I want to this is sort of why I wanted to change track a little bit and talk about you and your situation in a bit more serious light, and because I know you don't normally dwell on this sort of thing on your channel. You sort of more
right.
More
I do have a vlog that I address it a little bit more, but honestly I haven't done that a whole lot. I think at the moment I'm probably gonna end up doing some more on there, obviously, because
you're building your own community there. I think you're doing a tremendous job. It's just wonderful how that's going for you. And I just want to also mention to everybody, I haven't really expressed or told everybody how I do the interview thing and how I deal with it after the fact.
My alarm's going. Sorry, hang on.
That's okay,
honey. My alarm's going off. Can you grab that? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
My phone's like way over there, and it's going off. And you hear the music in the background now.
I can't hear it. Good. What happens is like this show is live, and then there will be the archive of that, which I leave up. And a month after, so next month, I will be editing out this interview and then publishing that separately, and I'll add a distinct introduction to that, like I do with the
some fun things.
Yeah. So you'll get one of those next month, and I just want to say again, like anybody who'd like to come on the show, I'd love to have you. I don't know what else to say now. I think about wraps it up. We're still working on the technical issues and stuff like that.
That's understandable.
Yeah. So
may I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
I just wanted to let everybody know, if you don't mind, that on my channel there's also a playlist of channels. And if you're new and you're starting out, please do not ever even bother trying that I do for you, you do for me, obligatory thing that we all know about, support for support sort of thing. Don't do that. It doesn't work. You have to build a community and get to know people. And I have a playlist there of channels that can help you do that. They're all there. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. As a matter of fact, you guys are on it.
Oh, that's right. You said, yeah, and thank you very much.
You guys are on it from last week. No, thank you, because you give to the community, and that's what anyone who is giving back to the community and in a positive manner, I want to highlight and I want to encourage other people to go to, because I didn't know what to do. I spent 9 months with 22 wild ones, my subscribers. And they were mostly family, and oh my God, that's the other thing I would tell you. If you go back in my archive to the beginning and you compare me then to me now, I had throat surgery in the middle of all of this fibro thing. Wow. So when I started singing again, I had no idea what my voice was like. I had to relearn how to sing. And you can hear the difference. Absolutely hear the difference between then and now. I'm much better.
Well, practice does make perfect,
great.
Eh?
Yes, it does. The more you do something, the better you get.
Yeah. Patricia was just asking, are the cats around today in the spacesuits? No, Patricia, because I haven't set them up for the interview. Sort of.
You don't want them to get burned on the sun.
Exactly, and they'd be obscuring their face and stuff. I'm gonna have to work it. I don't have confetti or anything else with the interview thing, so
it's okay.
But
you have a mermaid today.
I'm sorry.
I said you have a mermaid today.
That's right.
That's right. Cool boy.
Well, I'll make sure to have the Space Cats there next week. I think we better wrap things up. I mean, it's Sunday. Everybody wants to relax, get back to their lives. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I hope everybody had a good time. Technical issues notwithstanding, I know that was a bit of a drag. Yes. And again, we'll be back next week. And anything to say?
See you then.
Have a good Sunday.
Timey Wimey Girl?
That's awesome. I would just say, be your best self. Go out there and, I call people my wild ones because
Your wild ones.
when you live your life to achieve whatever dreams you have and find a way, I mean, I'm sitting in a chair. At the moment I can't walk, but I'm still gonna sing. You know what I mean? If I can,
Good.
and I took the pictures still. So just find a way, and if you do that, then you're a wild one like me.
All right, folks. On that note, we'll bid you adieu. Have a good week.
And let's all be wild together.
Bye for now.